Hello, we're back with another Unsolved Mystery. I'm Namrata,
And I'm Nick.
and welcome back to our podcast, Unreal Unsolved, where we dive into the eerie, the unexplained, and the downright bizarre.
Ooh.
And then we don't stop there, guys. We take it a step further by asking, what if reality isn't what we think? And if you guys, we're hoping you did listen to us last episode, you would know that we genuinely went somewhere interdimensional, maybe. I don't know. But at the end of the episode, we're quite questioning whether we are still part of the same reality
As we were 10 seconds ago.
or a few minutes ago. But
Or a
yeah.
couple of seconds ago.
Right. So for this episode, we're going to talk about something that's big, that's shiny,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's a rock that has allegedly ruined lives. This episode, we're diving into the Hope Diamond, also known as the Blue Rock of Doom, the Gem of Tragedy, or you probably shouldn't own this if you want to live, etc., etc. You can literally fill in whatever you want at this point.
Oh, but imagine being that crazy rich that your biggest problem is whether your jewelry is cursed. Oh no, my multi-million dollar diamond might bring misfortune. Whatever should I do?
I mean, history says die probably, or at least go bankrupt, maybe get betrayed, or maybe just lose your head.
And you know what's so shocking that people keep on buying it? If someone told me oh hey, here's this weird haunted rock, I'd walk away so fast. I'd be sprinting out of that place.
Exactly. So that's why we're here to tell you what is haunted.
So guys, don't break, don't get the little blue rock from people.
So we're here to break down the story of this infamous diamond, where it came from, why people think it's cursed, and whether it's actually just a case of rich people being reckless. And of course, we'll have some fun segments along the way, because what's a deadly curse without a little entertainment?
Death.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so we're done with the jokes. Well, for a couple seconds. But anyways, let's go all the way back to the original. Yeah, the origin of this little tiny rock, which is ruined everyone's lives. Anyways, so let's rewind all the way back to 1600s in India. The Hope Diamond, before it was even called the Hope Diamond, was allegedly stolen from a temple dedicated to the Hindu goddess Sita. And you know, stealing from a temple is bad news. You just don't do that, do you? Would you do it?
No, like that's literally how you end up in a horror movie, or basically you're the character in the horror movie who like doesn't make it past the first 10 minutes. Like I would rather stay in the whole movie. Like come on.
Exactly, you'd be like the final. You want to be the final girl.
I
The
know,
final
right?
guy.
You want to be the one who lived through it and had
Yeah.
stuff to tell other people, not die the
Right.
first 10 minutes.
Right.
Can you
So
imagine? You're there and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a character arc, and you're done.
you know that reminds me of MH370. Like, what if people are trying to start a new chapter in their life, get
Oh
back
my god,
together,
that is so sad.
and then they just they disappear. Like, what if someone on that plane was like a drug addict, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna go clean. I'm gonna go clean.
It could be someone who's on the way to their wedding.
Yeah,
That's just so sad, isn't it?
exactly. On their way to seeing their baby born.
Maybe.
Right. So, according to legend, this wasn't just any blue diamond. It was embedded in a statue, meaning that it wasn't just some weird little pretty rock. It was sacred.
And then some guy decided, I want that. He stole it, and
And then got torn apart by wild dogs.
yeah, that sounds quite about right. Straight up Jumanji level consequences. I mean, what do you think? You stole from a temple.
So, we don't actually know if this whole temple curse thing is real or if it's just a story made up to later add mystery. But it's the earliest supposed victim of the diamond's curse. And, whether or not the temple story is true, bad things definitely happened to the diamond's owners.
Right. So now let's forward a bit, like forward into 1660s, where we had King Louis IV of France, and he kind of gets his hand on this bad boy, and he buys a massive blue diamond. He gets it cut down.
Did you
And
say fourth?
I'm sorry, I meant no, I don't know. I meant King Louis the 14th.
Okay, because I was so like,
I'm sorry.
I was like, the fourth?
Yeah, no. King Louis the 14th of France. He basically gets this diamond,
Mm-hmm.
and he buys this massive blue diamond. He gets it cut down to about 67 carats. And then it kind of becomes part of the French crown jewels. 67 carats. Can you imagine?
I don't know what
Like
that.
now the jewelry buys like 21 carat gold and all of that. And he had a 67 carat
Is that big?
diamond. Yeah, of
Yeah?
course it is.
Because nothing says the ruler of France like spending your people's tax money on expensive accessories.
Exactly, right? So like Louis 14 doesn't get hit too hard by the curse, right? Because I don't know, maybe because I don't know, basically he doesn't get too
Yeah.
hurt. But his descendants sure do. So his great grandson, Louis the 16th.
Are you sure it's 16?
Yeah.
Not
and his
6?
no. And his wife Mary on
Antoinette?
and yeah, that.
And we all know how that ended. Guillotine city.
Exactly. And some people say that the Hope Dam is partly to blame. I mean, is it though?
Or just hear me out. Maybe ignoring a starving nation while flexing your wealth was actually the problem?
I think that is true. I mean,
Possibly.
we can keep going into whole that marriage, but uh, yeah,
Yeah.
let's just say that maybe this diamond did play a part
Yeah,
at,
no.
at some
It's
in
that,
some
yeah,
spiritual level.
yeah,
it did.
that's the thing that made them like totally corrupt, and that's the reason they were like that, and that's why they did, they stopped the entire
Are you
nation.
trying to do this whole Valley Girl accent?
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's going somewhere, but it didn't at the end.
Ah, thanks.
Okay.
I like disappointing people. Feels great.
Okay. So now we're going into whether this whole thing is actually cursed or is it more of just a coincidence? Okay, so let's talk about some of the more infamous stories connected to the Hope Diamond and whether it's actually cursed or just some really unfortunate coincidences. Some of these are absolutely jaw dropping, and you're going to need a seatbelt for this one.
So hold up. This is gonna be a wild ride. This is gonna be crazy. I just know it.
Yeah, it is going to be. So let's kick it off with Wilhelm Falks. He's a Dutch jeweler who had recut the Hope Diamond in the 18th century. And Falls was known for his experience and expertise in diamonds and gemstones, so he was quite highly respected, right?
I mean, if you're gonna get cursed, might as well like be by like a really fancy blue diamond, yeah?
Right. So, Falls decided to recut the diamond, but shortly afterward, he was murdered by his own son. Like, it wasn't just some freak accident, his son literally killed him. That's kind of the level of curse we're dealing with here, right? Like, this diamond makes a son kill his own father.
Okay, this is definitely like one of those who knew diamonds came with the family drama moments. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly, but seriously though, you would think a diamond that causes that much level of chaos might have actually come with some kind of warning label.
I mean, at this point, it's like the diamond has its own personal vendetta against family. It's like, okay, let's have a little scene where I'm gonna try to get into the diamond's mind.
Okay.
Okay, um, I need you to say action.
Action.
Okay. Ah, you wanna make a little profit out of me? Time to have a little family feud. Say cut. Say cut.
Cut.
Thank you.
I don't know what you were going for because it wasn't spooky.
No, no,
It
that's
wasn't scary.
okay. Do you want me
It
to do it
wasn't
again?
curse. No, we're done. I think we've had enough of it already.
Okay, yeah, but like, do you really think a diamond doesn't matter if it's haunted or not? Do you really think a diamond would have such a weird voice? No, it's
You
like
think a diamond? I don't think it would talk in the first place.
no, it's like the internal monologue of the diamond. Are you crazy? It's cursed. Of course, it has an internal monologue.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
You're crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to say that this was more than just a coincidence, right? Because we're talking about a family that's torn apart by the diamond. Now, whether this is actually curse, whether it's more coincidence,
Yeah.
it's quite insane to me.
Yep.
Just that one jewel coming into your house. And it's also funny because a jewel is something that every house will somehow have.
Yeah.
You know, if you say like, hey, if this particular pencil box, maybe not every house has it.
Yeah.
But a jewelry is something that, of course, not saying everyone will have a blue diamond.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that jewelry is so much more common to have in someone's house.
Yeah.
So
Then
just the
like a
fact,
random pencil case.
yeah. So then just the fact that all of this is just, I don't know, just like anyone. It could be anyone
Yeah.
who's cursed, or
True.
if it's a curse, that is.
So like what happens next? Let's tell me more about like the diamond and how it just casually ruins people's lives.
Okay, so let's move on. We have Evelyn Walsh McLean. Okay, you've probably heard of her. She was quite a famous socialite. She was
No, I
married to a
haven't
very
actually.
wealthy newspaper owner, right? So she purchased the Hope Diamond in 1911
Oh,
for $180,000.
damn, girl.
Okay, which in today's money would be something like 4.5 million.
Huh?
Yeah, but she probably should have checked the return policy before sealing that deal.
180,000 in 1911.
Yeah,
That's literally like owning a small country now.
is it though?
Yes,
4.5 million?
I think it'll be a little more bigger than a little small country.
Pretty much.
I would have fun with that money.
Yeah, so McLean was quite living the high life for a while. But
My
then,
college dues, I could go to any college I want. I can buy Harvard a little library and get into college. Damn.
right, so though she was living a high life, everything started going south. So she had a son, Vincent, who was just 9 years old when he died in a car accident in 1929,
I mean,
which is literally about 18 years after she bought it.
yeah, but isn't it kind of like thing you're a really rich family, you have so much money, someone has to end up dying in a car accident, right?
I guess so. It does seem like a very rich family.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
always die in a car accident. Princess Diana, car accident. Some random rich dude off the street, his child has probably died in a car accident.
Yeah.
So that it's very common for rich people to die in car accidents. So is that, especially 18 years later,
Yeah.
it
It
seems like
seems
a
too
good,
long. That's
yeah.
right. It
Like
seems
if it
too
happened
long.
like she bought it in 1911, 1912, maybe in like after 6 months she bought it.
But to be fair,
Yeah,
I mean, the whole Louis the 14th,
yeah,
nothing happened to him either.
exactly.
So it somehow just happened to all the people after him.
Right. So do you think the diamond's like, oh, I'm so grateful you bought me?
I just don't think the diamond's talking.
I think the diamond has an internal monologue.
I don't think so.
I think so. Okay, let's just go on.
Right. So when you fast forward to 1946, so we're still on Evelyn, by the way, her daughter Peggy, who was a known socialite too, she overdoses and dies as well. So somehow this curse seems to keep following her. Like now I get it, like if maybe if it stopped with that son, maybe you can say it's coincidence. But both the kids dying?
Okay, but rich person has access to drugs. Parents don't care much. Is a socialite. Overdoses.
Mm-hmm.
Car accident and overdose. That's the most
Common thing.
uh, death for a rich person,
That is true.
right?
Yeah.
So like, what happens next then? What is that? Some more tragedy in her life?
You can kind of guess where this is going, can't you?
Her husband.
Yeah. So Evelyn's husband, Edward McLean, completely loses his mental stability and ends up in an insane asylum for the rest of his
Okay, see.
life.
So I don't think it's a diamond anymore,
Okay.
right? Because both your children died.
Mm-hmm.
It's reasonable for you to go into an insane asylum,
Okay.
right?
That maybe.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, if it was true, like, could you imagine you buy this diamond, and then your whole world just falls apart,
Mm-hmm.
like genuinely, like piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
Every 10 years, 20 years, you lose something different. But that gives you so much time to grieve. The diamond is so nice, but it's like a slow motion, like a really slow motion horror movie, but with like really fancy and expensive jewelry.
Yeah. But you know what? That's not even the craziest part. Because now that all three people in her family are gone,
Yeah.
Evelyn herself ends up dying broke and in poverty,
Mm.
despite being one of the wealthiest women in America for years because of the diamond plus before that itself.
Yeah.
Basically, she just died broke
Yeah.
and in poverty.
So she went from literally one of the richest people in the world to broke and cursed. It's
What was that sound?
that was, I don't know. I think it was my stomach. It's hard to say that that's just unlucky. Just unlucky. Um, there could be some curse in play here, but at the same time, she could have just blown her riches off after everyone died. Right? Oh, you're depressed. What do you do? Retail therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just spends off all her money.
That is true. I mean, she has a husband in the mental hospital. She
Yeah.
has two kids who are
Dead.
dead. But I don't know, you go broke with retail therapy?
If you do it too much, I mean, who does? She doesn't need to spend money on kids. She doesn't. The only thing she has to worry about is her husband's
Bills.
bills. But I don't even think they charge for mental asylum at that point
I'm sure they do. How do you think they make the money?
because most people are just arrested and taken off the street.
Yeah, but
It's a
I don't know.
government-owned thing,
That is true.
so I don't think they even like charge for it.
Could be.
So like only person she had was herself. Like, oh, let me go buy some clothes. Let me go redecorate my whole house. Let me go this. Let me go that.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people obviously go through hard times, right? I mean, but when you look at this one particular family's tragic events, I feel like somehow maybe like every family goes through its tragic events. Maybe you have one death in the family. You have maybe, in the far family, you have another drug abuse, whatever.
Yeah.
But somehow every single person of the same family
Mm.
going through a multiple of things.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like like literally the diamond was with four people, and all those four people had something going on,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like, oh, me and then my uncle's sister, who is my basically would forget the thing.
My
So basically,
uncle's sister.
my uncle's kids, and then the young, and from for that it's like two generations down the
So
line. Someone
basically,
else.
like your uncle's sister's daughters, kids, sons, brother, husband, child.
Somehow I feel like when we actually break that down, we're not gonna end up with any person.
Alright.
Nothing, forget it. I feel like
Hey.
there's no person alive on that thing. Because I feel like you've gone into a relation that's not even happened yet with your whole uncles, brothers. I feel like that relation not even there. Right. Okay. So, well, what was I saying?
The whole families.
Yeah. So, like, not, the financial downfall of Evelyn, then the son's death, the daughter's death, and him just going to a mental asylum. Kind of feel like the diamond had something to do with it, right? All four people who are in contact are all going through some shit, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Evelyn herself started believing in it after the way her life just played out.
Right. So if I was Evelyn, I would literally just start walking around and saying that take that thing away from me, please. Like, bro could have sold it and bought a mansion to escape the bad vibes.
But I get that.
Yeah.
But does the curse really leave the moment it leaves you? I mean, that particular object
Yes.
leaves.
Same with the Annabelle doll.
Yeah.
The curse left them when someone else took the doll willingly.
Yeah.
So Ed and Lorraine had the doll.
Yeah.
Because they took it willingly,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's in that museum or in the basement of the house.
Right. So, okay, so actually, let's go into this now that you brought this whole thing off, that you just sell it off to someone.
Yeah.
Let's actually go into the person who sold it to Evelyn in the first place. Like,
Oh.
what did he go through, right? So, Pierre Cartier.
Pierre.
Pierre Cartier was the jeweler who actually sold the Hope Diamond to Evelyn McLean,
Yeah.
right? Now, here's the thing about him. Cartier was never affected by the curse,
Oh.
at least not directly. He was a genius businessman, but he was also the guy who sold the cursed diamond to McLean.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets even more bizarre.
Mm.
Like, are you ready for it?
Are you ready for it? Dun. No. Yeah. Tell me. I'm ready. Okay. Okay. So your silence is creeping me out. I'm getting really
I'm kind
intrigued.
of building it up to you.
Yeah. Like, if he stole the cursed diamond and didn't suffer, then like, could he have figured out how to dodge the curse bullet?
Right. So some people actually say that he was a smart man who actually carefully avoided becoming a victim.
Yeah.
Right. So when Evelyn McLean came to buy the diamond, Cartier was actually quite well aware of its reputation for the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he supposedly tried to dissuade her from purchasing it,
Yeah.
but she was insistent.
Oh.
So somehow, can you really blame a diamond when you kind of brought it yourself?
Yeah. So he basically just sold her the curse without any real consequences. Like, take it, take the cursed gem. Don't come crying to me when things go south.
Exactly, right? Because he told that no, like don't buy it. But
Yeah.
she just insisted that that's exactly what she wanted,
Yeah.
right? So, and interestingly, Cartier was also very wealthy and successful throughout his career.
Yeah.
He lived a long, prosperous life.
Yeah.
He was totally immune to this curse,
Yeah.
if it exists. And so, is it like, I don't know, so did he actually know a way? Because somehow it doesn't seem that when it's affecting everyone,
Yeah.
somehow it just it doesn't affect him.
Yeah.
So he's obviously maybe figured out a way out, or this is just huge coincidences.
Yeah, or maybe he was just that much of a business mastermind. And at the end of the day, the ultimate question is, why didn't the curse get him? And
Yeah.
what was his secret? And I have a theory for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know if the temple theory and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
was true, right? I say we make the Louis the 14th story.
Yeah.
I say we make that a coincidence.
Okay.
We call it a coincidence. And then we say that this dude actually cursed it.
So according to you, Pierre cursed it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But then why would he not want someone to buy it if someone who's buying it is kind of, falling into the whole trap of it?
Okay. But what if he didn't? What if him and Evelyn were friends? Or at least close to some business extent,
Okay.
right? And he didn't want to sell it to her.
Because he didn't want to see someone close to himself with any.
Yeah. But then, because she kept asking, you can't, as a businessman, you can't just say no because that seems suspicious.
But my point is, if you're friends, I don't care what business.
Yeah.
You don't keep your friend's safety below your whole business.
Okay, yeah, but he's a businessman. He wants money.
But if he was that close that he did
No, I'm
not
saying-
want her,
I'm
then there was a
saying-
way to convince. See, the thing is that only someone who's impersonal to this person who's buying it
Yeah.
can be like, listen, bro, fine, go ahead, just buy it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because if you are extremely personal with someone, you
I'm
would
saying-
care.
See, I'm saying that not complete. I think they had some sort of business relationship.
Maybe he's just the jeweler she always goes to,
Yeah.
right?
So I think they had some kind of business relationship.
But I also feel like even if they were that known to each other and they were that comfortable with each other,
Okay, yeah, but
He
he's
would
getting
still-
nearly 4.5 million in today's bucks.
180,000, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Cause like I would sell it to my friends if I know I'm getting that much money.
yeah, but that's a you thing.
Like I want money.
I know you do, and that's why I said that's a very you thing. Not everyone. So I mean, in that sense, maybe he is that kind of a person.
Yeah.
Could be.
Hi, I'm Pierre Cartier. I'm his descendants, guys. He's my ancestor. But who was white? No way he was my ancestor.
Exactly. So now let's actually deep dive into the Hope Diamond's history.
Ooh.
So we kind of came into how the origin of this curse happened.
Yeah.
Now let's actually go into the origin of this
Diamond.
diamond itself.
Yeah.
Right? So spoiler alert, it's not just a jewel. It's literally been like a world traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the story of the diamond stretches all the way back to the 1600s.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to follow this gem through time?
Time travel with a cursed jewel. You had me at world traveler.
Didn't I? That was also the most fascinating thing to me.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So, it all started in India. Surprise, surprise, right?
Mm.
Anyway, so the Hope Diamond was supposedly mined in India in the 17th century.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's said probably around 1666. Some say that it was taken from a Hindu temple, which kind of already sets the stage for, like we already said, ton of bad luck,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like stolen from a temple, right? That's where the curse began. So this whole touch something sacred and it's cursed vibe is really strong with this one.
Exactly. So, like we already said before, this was part of the Hindu goddess Sita's taken from the eye of the statue,
Oh.
right? So, it wasn't just any jewel, like you already said, it's quite considered sacred.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely some cosmic payback kind of thing happening where
Yeah.
someone's gone and stolen something from literally God, right? Because
Right.
especially for Hindu, like God, that's God, right? It's a very
Yeah.
sacred thing.
Yeah.
The fact that you would go and steal something from God itself kind of says that hey, you are meant to get
I
cursed.
have a theory.
Okay, tell me.
I have a theory. And we're bringing back Louis the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Louis the 14th was affected by the gem,
Mm-hmm.
the jewel. Okay? So, since it was stolen from the eye of Sita,
Yeah.
okay, it's basically it symbolizes how God is always watching you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so let's say that Louis the 14th, I don't know much about him,
Yeah.
but what if he didn't do anything majorly bad?
Mm-hmm.
But his ancestors, Louis the 16th and Marie Antoinette, they both did stuff bad.
What are you saying? How can Louis the 16th be the ancestor of Louis the 14th?
Sorry, yeah, descendant, sorry. So Louis the 16th and Marie Antoinette.
No, it was Louis the 14th and Mary Antoinette.
Yes, Louis the 14th and Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, wasn't it?
No,
Oh,
it's
no, it was
Louis the
16th.
16th.
Okay, sorry. My bad.
Louis the 16th and Marie Antoinette. They
Mm-hmm.
did stuff bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this jewel in the family that's watching them.
Mm-hmm.
So because they did something bad
Mm-hmm.
and which caused harm to other people, they
Okay.
were cursed by the jewel.
Okay.
Okay? Now, um Evelyn
Yeah.
bought the jewel
Mhm.
from Pierre.
Yeah.
What if Pierre was a good person?
Okay.
He didn't do anything bad, he didn't harm people, his intentions weren't bad.
Right.
Right?
So because of that, nothing happened to him.
Right. So and then he sells it to Evelyn.
Yeah.
Okay? And her son dies first. What if her son did something bad?
At 9 years of age, sure.
It was
He was 9 when he died.
He was 9.
Yeah.
What if he like stole from a couple people?
Yeah, that's how
Okay.
getting you killed.
Okay. So maybe Evelyn really loved this kid.
No, you know what it could be?
Yeah.
They're two wealthy people. So maybe they've done something wrong to get the
Yeah,
wealth.
that's what I'm saying. She really loved this kid, so she did something which reflected onto him.
It doesn't have to be because she loved this kid. It could be even before the kid was born.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And then the daughter, she used drugs and blah 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 blah. And again, parents are rich. You don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dad, obviously, he has to go mental because he must have done something. Then she died in poverty because she probably was some part of some tax fraud kind of thing. Right?
Could be.
You see it because it was stolen from the eye.
Yeah.
So, like, the god is always watching you.
Yeah. I see you.
Yeah?
I see you.
That's.
I see you.
That's why, like, Pierre, who. I don't know if he was a good person. It's just theories.
Yeah, I guess. Right. So this diamond's first major owner was Jean Baptiste Tavernier. Okay. He was a French gem merchant.
Yeah.
And he bought it from India in the 17th century.
Mm-hmm.
And when he returned to France, he sold it to King Louis XIV
Yeah.
in 1668. And that's
Oh.
how we knew that he had it.
Okay, wait.
Right?
Yeah, I just remembered something about Louis the 14th.
Yeah.
He's the one with all of the crazy wigs and the luxury
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And like he was called the Sun King.
I think so. I
Or
think something
something.
like that. Yeah. Right? So that's the one. So, and if you thought that his reign was quite glamour and gold, you should actually think again.
Damn.
Because Louis XIV's reign was full of war, famine, and serious social unrest, right? And not to mention, but he's kind of associated with the death of the jewel's first owner.
Devenir.
Yeah, because he kind of died mysteriously under suspicious circumstances after he sold the diamond. So technically, if the curse is to be true, this guy got cursed after the diamond left him because then he
Yeah.
died after that. Till the diamond was with him, he seemed to be okay with it,
Yeah.
right? But, or we don't know whether it's just Louis just killing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
The fact is that this guy kind of just mysteriously died
Yeah.
after he sold the diamond.
So my theory is wrong.
Yeah, could be.
Thanks. Thanks, y'all. I'm so sad. That was such a good theory.
Yeah.
But like, I swear this gem has some sort of like death aura. It's making everyone who touches it either like fall from grace or like die under bizarre
Exactly,
conditions.
right? Exactly. And now we know Tavernier died, right?
Yeah.
After that, King Louis XIV, he wore the diamond as part of his personal crown jewels that you already
Yeah.
said before. But then he started flaunting it, right? And that's when things started going really bad for
Yeah.
France. So the country was plunged into massive death, debt from wars and excesses.
So I'm not saying it's a diamond's fault, right? But maybe it's cursed to the point where it like what's the word? Magnetizes?
Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, that's a word. It
Attracts
magnetizes.
bad luck,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Tracks because like everything surrounding it just keeps getting worse. And also
Yeah.
my theory may be true.
I love how you only focuses on your theory.
Yes, because no, he started flaunting it, right? He started bragging about his friend's jewels.
Mhm.
Well, like the country was not doing great. So therefore, the jewel has its eyes on you.
Yeah.
That's why he's like everything went bad.
Right. So it is pretty wild, right? So now King Louis XIV dies, and the diamond then passes on to his successor, who is Louis XVI. And we're still in the French monarchy for the diamond right now.
So we're gonna go into the French Revolution territory, right?
Yep.
And this is about to get juicy. Unlike the meat on the people's hands during the French Revolution.
Right. So this diamond just doesn't pass hands. It's quite plunged into chaos. Okay. So in 1792, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, his queen, are executed during the French Revolution, and their precious crown jewels, including the Hope Diamond,
Yeah.
are stolen.
Huh? Wait, the Hope Diamond is stolen. The
Yeah.
cursed one.
Yeah.
So the weirdest thought just popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
What if one of the, rebels,
Yeah.
what if they thought it was a piece of food and ate it? Because they're so like starved.
So all the jewel was.
Yeah.
What?
They pooped it out later.
Oh my
That's
god.
all like, oh, this looks precious.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, what if it was that? And also, before we get into the next bit of things, where we keep continuing, I love how you keep asking about the French stuff. Because the French accent is the one accent I can actually do properly.
Right. So now this Hope Diamond kind of disappears for a while after that.
Yeah.
And then the 19th century, we kind of see traces of it again.
Mm-hmm.
So it eventually ends up with King George IV of England,
Yeah.
who buys it from a Russian merchant. So technically, when it reaches a Russian merchant, we're not sure.
Yeah.
We just know that now suddenly this Russian merchant has it.
Yeah.
And he sells it to George IV of England.
So, like, what happens to George IV? Like, what's his story with this thing? And I told you, a French peasant rebel person must have taken all of these years to clean it
Could be.
from the poop.
But sadly, it's a bit anticlimactic because George IV isn't exactly having a super happy life.
Yeah.
He had some financial issues and his reign is filled with debt and scandal.
Mm-hmm.
He's not killed by it.
Yeah.
But the diamond's history keeps getting more bizarre.
I mean, it's at this point, it's like we're watching a soap opera. with like jewels and kings.
I know, right? And by the time it reaches Henry Hope, who gets it around the 1830s, the diamond is just widely known as the Hope Diamond
And he
because it's
decides to buy
named
it.
after him.
Yeah.
But like we said, everyone who touches his diamond seems to just have a really bad time.
So like, bro knows about the reputation of this diamond,
Yeah.
and still buys it.
Yeah.
Every single person would have heard about the diamond to some extent.
I think after a point, it just becomes more of this. Oh my god, I need to see how actually cursed is it. Like, what happens
my
to
God.
me? Like, will I be the one person who prove that hey, nothing happened? You guys are just fools, or will I just get like it's literally like this modern trend thing? Something is trending, so everyone wants to be part of the trend.
Right. But then like, if I heard something was cursed, you better believe. Okay, no, I would want to. I would want to see it,
Uh-huh.
but I wouldn't want to buy it. I wouldn't want to like have it. Right.
Yeah.
I want to see it in action,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to have it and put that bad luck onto myself.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm sure there were some people who thought like that,
Yeah.
hence they lived. If this is cursed, they did live
Yeah.
through it. But then there were these people who wanted to just catch on with the trend. I
Try to
guess.
be the main character, and they failed
Yeah,
hilariously.
exactly. See, so shit like that.
They them energy. Have you seen that reel?
Yes,
Yeah, I love it.
I know.
Thanks. So let's fast forward to more recent and modern times.
Yep.
So by now, the diamond is practically a culture icon, right? It runs from kings to queens to Hollywood glamour, but you still don't escape the curse, apparently.
Right. So let's talk about when the Hope Diamond came to US.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was purchased by, like we said, socialist Evelyn
Socialite.
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 Right. So even though McLean bought it in 1911,
Yeah.
the legend was already well established. So, like we were saying,
Yeah.
even though Pierce tried to stop her from buying it,
Yeah.
maybe she just bought it just because she wanted to be part of the trend.
Yeah.
Because, she's literally like, no, even when he said don't buy it, she
Yeah.
just insisted that she was going to buy it.
Right. So hold up a bit, right? What if there was like an entire underground market of people just swapping this thing around from left to right? Like everyone's trying to get rid of it. Like, here, you take it. No, you take it. You take it. Like it's passed on like an ancient curse token.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because even though we know that she bought for $180,000, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly that was a bargain price at the time.
Damn.
Yeah, and it kind of like, this whole diamond became the centerpiece of her huge, extensive collection of jewelry she already had.
Okay, so see, I personally don't know how anyone could wear this thing after all of that trauma. Like,
Yeah.
imagine walking around that knowing it's caused so much destruction. Like, hello, you little peasants, I'm wearing the Death Gem. She's American. She's from the US. Why does she have a British accent?
I don't know.
Hello, I'm wearing this Death Gem.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's not forget, her family did not have a good time.
Yeah.
Her son had a car accident, her daughter had a overdose.
Yeah, overdose.
Right. And we all know the husband went into an asylum.
Yeah.
Right? So, it did bring its bad luck into her life as well.
Yeah. So it's basically like the diamond shows up at someone's door like an unwanted baby,
Yeah.
and the drama just never ends.
Right. And after her whole death, where we knew she died of poverty,
Yeah.
the Hope Diamond eventually made its way onto the hands of the Smithsonian Institution in 1958.
Yeah.
Right? And since then, it's been on display for everyone to see.
Yeah.
But some say that it still carries the weight of its cursed history.
Let's just like pause on that for a second.
Okay.
Like, can we talk about the Smithsonian?
Of course we
Right.
can.
They're just like, hey, no big deal. Let's just casually display this cursed gem in a glass box for the public to see. Does that not like feel or sound like a bad decision?
But technically, the whole thing is that if someone had it,
Yeah.
this way is just displayed. In a way, no one gets to have it and no one kind of curses themselves anymore.
But how do you know? Because you can still buy stuff from the Smithsonian. If you have the money, you can buy this diamond.
Yeah, but I'm sure this one would only be there. Things that are for display are just only for display.
No,
Only the ones that are sold in auctions can be bought.
Yeah, so you can take something from the Smithsonian, put it into auction.
Agreed. So, but this is something they will not do that because it's literally said it's in till date. It is there to see.
Yeah, but some idiot could be like, hey, let's see if it still costs, and then sell it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's not one person's decision, and it's
Yeah, true.
so it's kind of a little difficult for it to get out of that.
Yeah. So like,
Right, So they've obviously got this $1 million diamond of doom.
yeah,
And it's like a dangerous exhibit at this point, right?
yeah,
For visitors stare at it, some people are totally convinced that it still has a part to in their lives.
right.
But this is where I'm saying, like, either you believe that it's cursed because you have it,
Yeah,
or you believe that it is cursed because, well, you just see it displayed somewhere.
right.
Now, if you believe it's cursed just because it's displayed somewhere, then hey, there were so many people on the way who just had a look at this diamond.
Yeah.
Is all of their lives bad?
Oh, so do you remember?
Before you go ahead,
Yeah.
let me finish my point.
Sorry.
Or if it is just that who has it is cursed,
Yeah.
the Smithsonian doesn't seem to have an issue at this point.
Yeah. Seems
They're,
they're doing
they're
pretty
quite
good.
they're
Yeah.
doing pretty good for themselves, aren't they?
Yeah.
So exactly, like where is this line?
So do you remember the Tulpa episode from Supernatural? I think season 1 or season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2, I think. You guys were big Supernatural fans. Anyways,
Moving on, your point.
so if you watch Supernatural, you know what we're talking about. But basically, it's this creature that's created by the manifestations of people believing in it,
Yeah.
right? And I'm raising you. What if the more someone believes in this curse, the more likely it is to come true?
Could be. I mean, like kind of in today's world, manifestation is kind of that, right?
Right.
You believe something for so much with so much passion,
With a million people backing you.
right? It kind of just happens anyway.
Right. And the amount of people that visit the Smithsonian and learn about all of these new different artifacts.
Yeah.
What if someone just stumbles upon this and like people get hooked onto it? They're like, oh shit, this thing cost this, by looking at it, your cost, by looking at your cost. And it kind of manifests what everyone just believes by looking at it, your cost.
Then that would be the thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So then they would have to take out the diamond,
Yeah.
right? And they can't just store it away because someone can steal it. And they can't just sell it. So what are they going to do? They can't destroy it either.
Mm-hmm.
So like what's going to happen to the diamond by that point?
True.
Right?
Yeah, because I feel like that's something we have to still see. But you know what? Maybe
Yeah.
all your questions could be answered in like a few minutes.
Oh. Oh.
Right? So maybe, because obviously it doesn't end here.
Right.
There is still something up for this.
Yeah, true.
So, now that we've traced this diamond's chaotic journey from, the temple theft for it to then go into royal disaster, right?
Yeah.
But what we do need to talk about, like I was saying,
Yeah.
is something that keeps this legend alive.
Yeah.
Something that's a modern day curse,
Mhm.
right? Because it could have just been that all this while it happened and hey, people forget. Like time kind of heals everything.
Yeah, right.
So people forget. We know Evelyn's there, but fine. I mean, how she died, no one cares anymore, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Oh.
time's passed.
Except for family.
I mean, no one's living.
How do you know? She could have answered. The descendants. Okay, yeah, but they wouldn't
How?
get.
How could she have descendants? Because both her kids are dead. Where is the
Oh yes, her kids are dead. I completely forgot.
Yeah. So literally, I mean, she could have like nieces and nephews.
Yeah, but who would care about
her
that?
whole
Yeah. Oh, I
thing is
completely
gone,
forgot.
right? Anyway, so unless there was something modern that's cursed and that's tying it all up, it's not something we would talk about,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So the plot twist is that the drama didn't end just because it landed in a museum.
Mm-hmm. So, like, obviously not.
Yeah.
Right? This thing has a full death resume. Longer than our goddamn grocery list.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the deal? People still believe in the curse, like I said?
Oh my god, yes. Like 1,000% yes,
Yeah.
right? And here's why. Because even though the diamond was safely locked away in the Smithsonian, people kept reporting weird occurrences.
Yeah.
Especially those who interacted with the diamond in some way.
Right. So, are we talking like museum security guards saying things or the janitor? Yes.
Janitor.
I know. The janitor mysteriously like disappears one night. Like, how are we talking? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so that's kind of what the vibe is,
Yeah.
right? So some guards till today
Yeah.
they refuse to go near it,
Mm.
right? But the biggest thing is that even people who just handle the paperwork of it, not even
Yeah.
have to have direct contact with it,
Mm-hmm.
have still had some serious bad luck,
Hmm.
right? So, like the guy who donated it to the Smithsonian,
Yeah.
his life literally fell apart right after.
Oh, that's a literal paper trail curse.
Right,
Like that's like next level evil. And also, there's also another pattern. As
yeah,
soon as you let go of this thing, it curses you.
something happens, right? Yeah.
Right?
So it either curses you when you have it, or it curses you when you let go of it.
Yeah.
So technically, once you have it, you know if it's a good thing that you keep it with you or you give it away.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because both seem to be a bad thing. So I guess for the ones who are just cursing while they have it,
Yeah.
it's better to give it away.
Yeah.
For the ones who you have it and you don't seem to find any bad luck, then
Just
just
keep it with
keep
you.
it with you.
Yeah.
Right? So this whole thing that's where this thing gets creepy
Mm-hmm.
because the guy who sent the diamond to the Smithsonian, who's Harry Winston, he's a famous jeweler and he kind of decided to mail it to the museum in a plain brown envelope through the regular US Postal Service.
You're telling me that this man just casually shipped a cursed multi-million-dollar diamond like he was goddamn mailing a birthday card.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, okay? It was an ordinary postage. There was no special security. There was no, like, anyone could steal it and hey, it's okay, let's just get stolen. There was absolutely nothing like that. Just a brown paper package tied up with doom. And the funniest part is that the postal worker who delivered this package, he ended up experiencing a series of misfortunes.
No way. Like, what happened? Did he slip on a banana peel, lose his job, get attacked by pigeons or wild dogs?
Was because the guy, whose name was James Todd, he had a car accident soon after.
Oh.
And then his house burned down. And then, this is the kicker, his dog died under mysterious circumstances.
I hate Harry. I hate Harry. What is wrong with you? This dog died.
Yeah, like that's just sad, isn't it? So somehow it's not just the curse just doesn't stay with humans. It somehow just gets associated with anything that's associated with the person who had or not even had, just transported the diamond from one place to another.
Yeah, okay. I genuinely. So James Todd, this dude hasn't had like he's had the slightest of contact with it, yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow he's had the worst thing.
Yeah, and like he's not even touched it because it's obviously in the envelope,
Envelope.
right?
I don't care if Marie Antoinette and Louis the 16th, were like their heads were slashed off. Couldn't care less. His dog.
I know.
His dog. That's the worst part. That's the
Yeah.
worst thing that's ever happened to someone. Okay, so second of all, are we sure this isn't just like at the end of the day just coincidences?
See, that's the thing because people are constantly arguing about this,
Yeah.
right? So they're like, was James Shaw just super unlucky,
Yeah.
or did he actually deliver cursed energy, or did like literally the cursed energy, somehow
Yeah.
attach itself onto him while he was transporting the diamond, right? But the thing is, he's not alone
Yeah.
because there's so many stories like this.
Okay, I won't believe it until I hear it. Give me another one.
Okay, I've got a juicy one.
Yeah.
Okay. So a Smithsonian staff member, someone who actually handled the diamond,
Yeah.
right? Not handled the
Yeah.
diamond. So he reported a series of freak accidents not long after.
Yeah.
So one time, a curator tripped and broke his leg right after giving a tour featuring the Hope Diamond.
Okay, but like, was he wearing like stupid shoes? Or are we just blaming the diamond for bad coordination?
I mean, it could be bad luck, could be a curse, but here's another. There's a story about a woman who worked in public relations at the Smithsonian and she just wrote press release about the diamond. Didn't look at it, didn't touch it, didn't even go close to it. But can you guess what happened to her?
Like, she lost all her emails. The printer jammed.
Her husband suddenly left her and she lost her job in the same year.
Okay, that's it. I'm sorry, but this thing is out here ruining lives at administrative levels.
Exactly.
Right? And I don't care what science says. If an object is so cursed that even writing about it can mess up your life, I'm staying at least 437 miles away from it.
Same here. Like, and people who claim that even just looking at it took too long in the museum gave them weird vibes or black bad luck afterwards.
See, that's what I'm saying. What if it's a manifestation of people believing it?
Yeah, so that because one they just heard, that's the thing, right? It could be one coincidence that
Yeah.
people start believing it was cursed.
Right,
And
exactly.
then as it went on, everyone's just like, oh my god, something that bad happened. Man, it's obviously because
Yeah,
340 years ago, I went and saw a
exactly.
diamond in the museum.
Exactly. 340 years ago, they wouldn't be alive.
Get the point?
Yeah, I get it. Right. I get it. Yeah, in the afterlife, they tripped over a cloud.
No.
340 years ago.
No, I'm saying it is that insignificant. It's like
Yeah.
a passing second in your life, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that is what caused
Yeah.
this.
But like right now, I'm imagining the person who has to polish the display case. Like, oh, cool, just cleaning the most cursed rock in existence. Nothing to see here.
Okay, that's true. But like, listen to my final kicker. Okay, some visitors actually reported seeing strange reflections in the display case, like shadowy figures or flickering lights that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. So like this is officially entered horror movie territory and I'm all in for it. This is some like museum ghost wants its diamond back kind of thing, right? Can they make a movie based on this and can we watch it if it comes out?
I know, right? So Smithsonian has the diamond. It's sitting in a bulletproof glass case, but people still feel uneasy around it. And there's still some experts who say that the whole thing is just superstition.
I agree.
But come on, superstition?
Okay, so superstition or not, I'm not gonna take my chances. Right?
I agree. Like, I totally agree with that.
If the gem has left like a trail of disaster behind it for centuries, I don't care what anyone says. I'm staying far away from it. Like I'm saying that. Oh, I don't believe. I'm like genuinely. I've been constantly saying, oh, I don't believe in it. Oh, I don't believe in it. Probably it could be just consequences. But what if it's not?
Exactly.
That doubt's gonna be at the back of my head. So like, am I gonna go and actively look out for it? No.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Like, even when you know whether it's true or not,
Yeah.
there is that 1% chance it's true.
Yeah.
Why even take that chance?
Right. Exactly.
Like, are you that sad about
Are
your
you dumb?
life? Or do you just want to switch to another reality?
Anyways, go watch that first episode.
What was that confusion? You're like, oh yeah, oh.
I was like, no, in my head, I was like, how could the diamond make you switch realities? And I'm like, oh, you're constantly switching realities. So when something bad happens to you, you can be switched. Yeah.
You
Okay,
see
that was like,
right. But here's a fun thought, right?
yeah.
What if the curse isn't over? Like, if we believe it is a curse,
Damn you.
what if it's not over? Like, what if someday someone tries to steal this Hope Diamond again? What do you think happens after that? Because, like we discussed, this whole trend, following the trend is something that's there even today.
Yeah.
Right? So, what if someone's like, hey, I'm gonna go steal, like all of these people, these influencers keep doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go steal this diamond and I'm gonna do a whole 10-day vlog on it.
Yeah.
To show you that, hey, there's nothing cursed about this.
So, any directors, producers, or people who have a lot of money, listen to me right now. Listen really closely. I want to see this movie in theaters. Heist gone wrong. The Hope Diamond Curse.
Can you imagine?
Right.
That'll be so cool.
It should be a mix between the two, like a couple genres, but it should be thriller. It should be historical.
Okay.
It should be horror.
Historical. Okay.
Horror.
Because you want backstory?
Yes, you need
Okay.
backstory.
Okay.
Or we can do this movie in 2 parts. Okay.
Okay.
So because I'm the kind of person who doesn't want backstory first, I want action first to get me into the movie and the plot itself. So we first of all talk about Evelyn. Okay, and then we talk about the more recent events. We talk about Smithsonians. We talk about shadowy figures and everything that happened there. And then we do then movie number 2 or season 2, whatever how we're doing it. Season 2, movie number 2. That's when we bring the whole backstory in. This is why it's because this is what happened. Blah blah blah.
I see that.
Right? Because you need suspense if people don't know about what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it. So it's also for the people who like the history.
Because because not a lot of movies which show backstories first work. So I'm thinking people wise and financial wise.
Yeah.
So if you want the movie to go well, you have to put the main chunk of it first.
Yeah.
And then backstory, like it's okay if the second movie doesn't make as much money and doesn't get as much
But I also feel
traction.
like that's how it builds intrigue, right? You're
Right.
like, okay, I know what's happening, but why is it happening?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I really need to know how true this is, or
Right.
how it actually all like all the truth.
Yeah,
Is it just some fabrication? Like,
exactly.
where did this start from?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that obviously does bring a lot of
Yeah, that again
interest and
brings
intrigue
people
into
back.
it, doesn't it?
Yeah. There you go. So if you have a lot of money, contact us.
We'll do the screenplay and the writing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You just have to pay for it, all of it.
Produce it, you mean?
Yeah, same thing. No,
Okay.
we'd be the producers. We came up with the idea.
You
Co-producers,
do
co-producers.
realize producers are mean they put the money for it?
They also come up with the idea. Yeah.
The
Producers.
idea is all screenplay and all.
Really?
Yeah, producers are the ones who
We're
put the
the
money into it.
screenplayers, guys. You guys are the producers. Please give us money. We can make it in an animation. You have to just hire an animating team for us.
Mhm.
An animation of that would be fun, but I think live action would be better.
I think it would be too.
Yeah.
There's so much more you can do.
And you can
live
kill
action.
people much more violently.
Of course, that's what you
Oh, and
love
drug
about it.
overdose with the needles would be really good.
Oh my god.
Oh, shall we continue?
You think?
Shall we?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So after all of this,
Yeah.
final verdict.
Okay.
Okay. Do we think the Hope Diamond is actually cursed? ...
I think it's less cursed and more like rich people making bad life choices, as we do
So
in
you're
every
going
single
with
life.
more of it being a rich people problem
Yeah,
kind of thing.
right. Because if you see, okay, so I'm gonna state this once again. I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1,000-foot pole.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had this diamond,
Yeah.
would I be? And I know it's cursed, and I know its whole reputation. Would I be stepping into a car? No. With it,
Yeah.
knowing I have it, would I be stepping in the car? No. Would I go into the airplane to end up like MH370? No. Would I try to like bungee jump off something? No.
Mm-hmm.
I would sell it.
Sell it.
So yeah, like they're so dumb. Yeah, I so like because a monarch to be having its people rebel against them,
Yeah.
extremely common,
Yeah.
right? Coincidence.
Yeah.
Number two, Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
He's just standing out,
Yeah.
right? That if it was actually a curse, why wasn't he cursed? That doesn't make sense at all, does it?
Yeah. That's true.
Because it's harmed every single person,
Yeah.
right? And it's not been consistent with it either. Some people have it while they have it. Some people get the curse after they've lost it. I genuinely believe it's some manifestation and not a curse.
I see that. And anyway, whether it's a curse or it's not, just why take the risk?
Exactly. And this is also why we're broke, because we're out here making safe financial decisions, like not buying haunted objects.
Right? So we invest in good choices like snacks and ice creams and chocolates and not tempting fate.
Yeah.
'cause, like, who wants that?
And speaking of tempting fate, our next episode.
Right. Our next episode is gonna be looking into what are some objects which is destined to bring disaster, right? So how would that world be, or how would that object work around
Yeah.
if their whole destiny is just to bring disaster?
Yeah.
And like how, like, could curses just be scientific?
Yeah.
Is it just a thought process?
Yeah.
Is there more to curses? And basically a lot more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine just sitting here and judging everyone like another owner. Really? Get ready for some misfortune, sweetheart.
Okay, so I'm like properly convinced
Yeah.
the Hope Diamond is less of a curse and more of like a petty diva.
You think so?
I think so. Like hair flip, and being like, oh, that outfit today, that green really doesn't go with that blue.
So I'm gonna.
Curse you,
Yeah.
kill your son in a car accident,
Oh my god, why did we go?
daughter of an oh, you spend your money on another jewel, daughter dies of an overdose.
Do not.
Oh,
Do not
I
make
can
fun of
see
people's trauma.
I can see that bread is now in your leg. Kill you by your rebels and your French people.
That bread is in your
Like, you
leg.
know how people being like, oh, I can see the bread in your stomach.
Ah, okay.
Like that. And Marie Antoinette had fat ankles
Mm-hmm.
and calves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you seen photos of her? She's got really
Yeah.
big ankles.
Yeah.
Not ankles, calves.
Yeah.
So, like, you get it?
I do. I do get it.
So, like, I see those calves. And you're giving me none of it? Rebellion. Guillotine.
So I think we kind of did bring an end to this episode by
Yeah.
saying that the diamond is just a diva,
Diva is
according to her anyway.
Ignored me.
Right. On that note, ignoring her, on that note,
Thanks.
subscribe, follow, and stay away from cursed objects, people. Like, please. Just please. Just
And
do
if
that.
you have 4.5 million, give it to us.
Yeah, or just use it yourself.
Or give it to
Basically-
us.
Basically, don't spend it on buying cursed objects. like
Exactly.
this.
Give it to us.
Or just use it yourself. Not all of
Yeah.
us are as greedy.
Ah, thank you. You could donate to some charity.
Yeah, that's a good option.
Or like you could buy
Bring-
poor people
Bring
some food.
something nice and bring happiness into someone else's life.
You could buy like a bunch of, I don't know, burgers from McDonald's and distribute it to poor people around the world.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of burgers in 4.5 million.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe just like spend $1 million on that and spend the 3.5 million on yourself. Like a huge mansion, decorated amazingly.
Oh my god. With 4.5 million, get a huge mansion. I mean, I guess it
And like
depends where you
Utah.
are. Yeah, it depends where you are.
Because what I've heard is people usually go to Utah to buy mansions.
Could be. Okay, bye guys. Hope to see you next episode.
Yeah.
Where we go into the unreal and the chaotic part.
Are you ready for
A
it?
little, not little, way away from facts
Yeah.
and reality.
If you watched episode 2, you know what
You
we're
know what
talking
we're
about.
talking about. Yeah.
Bye.